Some people like them big, some people like them small. Welcome back to the Scale Builders Guild. Thanks again for watching. Today we're taking a first look, run, and review of the new RC4 drive Trailfinder 1/24th scale, and here it is. This is the box that it comes in, and get ready for a non-traditional unboxing. Because I'm going to take it out of the box without showing you any of the unboxing. And there it is. What a cute little truck. This is obviously supposed to be sort of a recreation of the Trailfinder 2 from RC4 Drive, a much smaller version of it, in fact. If you were expecting a miniaturized Trailfinder 2, I think you might be a little bit disappointed about that. It is not leaf-sprung. It is definitely coil springs, friction shocks underneath here with links, and not exactly a true recreation. But the body itself is a pretty faithful, smaller sized recreation. It is a nicely molded body, and let's zoom in so we can get a better look at this. There we go. It is a nicely molded body. There are some great details. Nice looking front grille, lenses for the headlights and marker lights, tail lights, the works. There are a lot of nice little bits and pieces and details that went into this truck for sure. A full interior, not a full floor flat interior, but pretty close. Right-hand drive. So again, faithful to a lot of the TF2s that are out there. And a nice adjustable aluminum chassis. So there is some nice stuff going on there for sure. Scaled D44 axles. Beadlock wheels. What do we got here? Some Mickey Thompson Baja claws. These are the 1-inch tire with what feels like a decent foam in there too. So all in all, a nice, tiny little package. In terms of size, it is pretty close to the 24th scale Jeep from Axial. So the SCX24 is pretty much in line with where you would expect a little Toyota like that to be. So not too far off what you would expect from a 24th scale. It's nice to have all these details. Wipers, rear view mirrors, which are a hard plastic, so you're going to probably break those off fairly quickly. Door handles. It is a pretty decent little recreation, and not too bad in terms of the details. If a hard body in this scale is something that you're after, then this is definitely going to be something you should look at. They're no strangers to putting hard bodies on small packages. Another small comparison that I could make today is between the TF2 24 scale and the Kyosho Mini Z 4x4. As you can see, there is a ton more detail in the Mini Z body. It comes pre-painted. All the decals are on there. You've got all the same scale features, but there are head and tail lights. There is a light kit installed. And these mirrors are of a rubberized plastic, so they won't crack off like these ones will. So, I mean, this one obviously is a bit more set up to be a little bit of a trail truck with a tiny bit of crawler built in. Certainly more trail than it is a crawler, just like the TF2. But I would say you're getting a little better value in terms of the scale accuracy and the look. If you want a Toyota, they have one of those too. I do very much like that it is a hard body. I think that is pretty cool. And here's a little comparison between its big brother and itself. And as you can see, it's pretty darn tiny compared to a full-size Marlin Crawler TF2. It almost fits right under it, which is pretty adorable. Because it is a hard body, I think there's a lot of great opportunities here to customize, to paint, and to make it your own. As it is only molded in this yellow color, and blue and red are also available, the world is your oyster in making it your own and adding some weathering and, you know, maybe doing something like this, doing a cut door. Why not? There's lots of opportunities. So I think that there could be some cool potential in how these can model out. Okay, so the body is held on with some Velcro straps, as you can see there, one in the front and one in the rear. There are little tabs on either sides of those pieces of Velcro that do help you kind of sit the truck down on and find that exact right spot. And then once it's on there not very well. It doesn't always stick on there very well and will come off quite easily. But it is easy to get it off if you need to. Let's take a look at the chassis itself. As you can see, the ESC and receiver is an all-in-one unit mounted up front. There is a very small little transmission and super tiny motor. What size motor is this? Micro motor for I can barely read that. Micro motor for R6 1/24 mini transmission. That's it right there. And that is a tiny motor. Also a pretty compact looking little transmission / transfer case all in one. Plastic drive shafts out to plastic axles, which do appear to have a ring and pinion gear inside them. Yeah, it's not a worm gear. You can turn those quite easily. Aluminum chassis rails, and they're not C-channel, they're milled aluminum, so definitely lots of mounting adjustment points, as you can see there, probably to set it up for alternative wheelbases. Looks like we're set up for a 120 right now, and can go as far as 125 or as narrow as 115. So nice to have a few options in case you wanted to put some other hard body on this truck. Servo mounted up front, micro twister servo. It says it's a 5-gram servo, so not tons of steering torque there, but plenty, I think, for a trail truck at this scale. You also get a 320 milliamp hour 1C LiPo battery, or ICR, 2S ICR battery. I'm assuming that's a LiPo battery. Nice to see that at this scale. So there you go, 2S LiPo battery. Must mean that it's 2S LiPo capable. Friction shocks, as I said before, they feel pretty similar to an Axial SCX24. I do like the scale look of the axles, and looks like you get a decent amount of steering throw on there as well. I did mention the SCX24 as a comparison point. I'm not sure, after having a little bit of driving time with this, that the SCX24 and the TF224 scale really compete in the same arena. I kind of feel like this is set up to be more of a trail truck, a true trail truck. So at this scale, not going to be a huge performer, especially with this very small motor. And now that I've mentioned that, it's probably best to mention some of the other things that come in the box. It's really nice that RC4WD Drive includes this handy snack. These are really delicious. Don't eat these beads. They're not for eating. In the box, you get the Trailfinder 2 24 scale. You also get a USB charger, batteries for your transmitter, some stickers for the mirrors, which is nice, a full manual, and a super large transmitter. This is the XR2 Ultimate Radio System, and maybe they were going for a retro look. It is extremely retro and huge and impossible to drive one-handed unless you've got giant hands, which I thought I did. So little on the large side for sure, but gets the job done. Also included in the box, and this is important, I've already lost. Also included in the box is this tiny Ziploc bag, and in this bag is another Ziploc bag and a sticker. There's your sticker, another factory sealed sticker, another sticker in here. This sticker says limited time includes extra high power motor! Exclamation point! And then there is a QR code for the instructions on installing what I presume in this bag is a new high-powered motor. And I think one of the big reasons RC4WD Drive has included this alternate motor, oh, and there's something else in here too. Oh, look at that, more Velcro straps. I think these are probably a bit stronger Velcro. What do you know? And I think the reason RC4WD Drive included this optional N30 micro motor is that the included motor is what I would like to call anemic. It is not powerful whatsoever, and is really only for what I would consider to be trail duty. Yes, I said duty. It doesn't have a lot of torque and has a difficult time powering itself over the simplest of obstacles. So we're going to now install this option motor that RC4WD has included and see if this truck performs any better. At first, I thought it was just the battery that wasn't charged, or I wasn't, at full voltage or something that wasn't allowing it to crawl over an obstacle. And here I am trying to apply some throttle, and all I can hear is the motor hum. Until it doesn't, and that's at full throttle. So what you have to do, I kind of realized, is you kind of have to just drive it at full throttle in order to kind of have enough speed or wheel speed or torque to get over an obstacle, which isn't exactly the most scale experience, if I'm honest. So while it steers just fine, it really is sort of like a pretty jerky sort of driving experience. So not really like the scale experience you might be looking for from this miniature truck. Let's take that optional motor and pop that in and see if it makes a difference. Because this isn't very fun. Okay, new motor is installed. I would definitely follow the instructions. Get that QR code, load it up, follow the instructions exactly. There are a few steps in there, and these parts are very small. So they do require good eyes to get in there and get everything swapped out. Not a difficult thing to do. Took me about 3.5-4 minutes. So follow the instructions, you'll be totally fine. It definitely does offer... Oh, one other thing to note. When you install that motor, the polarity is reversed. Or maybe it isn't. It depends on how they wired up the motor. I had to reverse throttle, which is easy enough to do on this transmitter. So once that's done... it definitely has more speed and more power. Still not a ton of low end, but it is definitely a much better experience than it was out of the box. So if you are planning on taking this off-road on any sort of terrain other than a dirt trail, you might want to install that optional high power motor. As you can see, definitely more wheel speed. Can definitely power over the obstacles a lot better. Still not a totally scale driving experience, but it is better than it was. Is the new Trailfinder 2 24th scale with the Mojave body set a perfect small scale RC? Well, it's got a few things going for it that the competition doesn't, of course. A nice looking hard body that gives you a lot of potential for modification. Nice beadlock plastic wheels that are actually a beadlock with a nice scale accurate tire. Nice aluminum frame and decent good looks. Is it as performance oriented as some of the other 24 scales on the market? No, it isn't. Is it more towards the scale modeler? Probably. I think there is a lot of potential in a body like this. And the nice scale accurate D44 axles are a nice touch as well. Would I have liked to have seen an actual scaled down TF2 with leaf spring suspension? The non-performance part of me says yes. And it is something that I think could have been pretty cool to see. Maybe we'll see a leaf spring conversion in the future. Who knows? That would definitely be an interesting add-on for sure. I think this truck is more suited to the person who is going to weather it and model it and, put some personality into it. Is it for someone looking to get into the hardcore micro-scale crawlers and off-roading? Probably not. But that's interesting. Is this something that you think you would trail with? A 24 scale? That's the question I'm posing in this video, so put a comment down below. You know I love reading through your feedback, and I try to answer as many of them as I can. And if you're enjoying this video, you want to see more reviews like this, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you get updates anytime there's a new video from the Scale Builders Guild. And in fact, if you dislike this video, hit the dislike button too. That all works. Would this compare to the other 24th scale trucks on the market? No, I don't think it would. I don't really know that it was meant to, though. I think this is just sort of RC four-wheel drive's capitalization on the popularity of the TF2. And making a small-scale version of it isn't the worst thing in the world. Now that you've got that optional motor and stronger Velcro to help keep that body on, I think there's enough here to warrant giving it a second look. So there you go. I think that's going to do it for today. Thanks so much to RC Four-Wheel Drive for sending the 24 scale TF2 to me so I could do this review. And also thank you for watching. We'll see you again soon.